The governing New Patriotic Party is set to hold its extraordinary delegates conference on Sunday, the 17th of December, beg your pardon, in Kumasi. Now, the party will use the conference to discuss proposals for amendment of the party's constitution and subsequently adopt those changes. Well, before the party sets the conference rolling, reports indicate that over 100 polling station executives are protesting the removal of their names from the voters' register, which inadvertently disenfranchises them. We will be looking at that issue in a bit, but first let's have a look at what will form the basis for discussion at the conference on Sunday. A member of our political desk here at JoyNews, Elton Brobe, joins me in the studio for this discussion, and I'm going to find out from him what are expected to be the key areas of discussion. Elton, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us, which areas are we looking at? What will perhaps form the basis for discussion?
All right, so we know that the constitution of the party itself will be a matter for consideration.
Okay.
If you have looked at the various proposals that have been captured in the constitution of the party, even the mission, and
yes,
the mission
quite a lot actually.
Yeah, the mission statement of the NPP itself is up for consideration, but it will not be one of the key issues that will generate discussions after the first half of the program.
Do we know why?
Because these are, somebody will say, procedural issues that requires that they do in their attempt to amend their constitution. So these are matters that will be put before Congress, but they will not be given the opportunity to more like critique it.
Okay.
It will be.
So it will just be like a read through,
an acclamation of a sort.
Right.
But then beyond that, there are key issues that the party, could not resolve at the council level, and the more reason why they have to put it before the conference of the party so that the decision can be taken. Remember that the Delegates Congress of the party is the highest decision-making body of the party. That's how come they are meeting in conference to take a decision on some of these matters. Now, we have been told that when the party set up this committee, a constitutional review committee headed by the Vice Chairman of the party, F.F. Anto, to look at the proposed amendment put forth by members of parliament, honorary members of the party. Remember that when we went to Cape Coast, some members of parliament wanted amendment to their constitution that will give them the power to appoint constituency executives after they are elected as parliamentary candidates for their various constituencies. Okay. In that they will do away with the election of constituency executives. That was the position of some members of parliament. So that the members of parliament get to choose who becomes the constituency executive. Yes, once they are elected parliamentary candidates, they will now decide who becomes the constituency executives. Now, my information is that the review committee did not find reason with the position taken by the members of parliament. So that will not be part of the issues that will be put before conference on Sunday. However, there are three key issues. One among them is an attempt by the constitution of the NPP to bar people who hold dual nationality from contesting any position in the NPP. Okay. Now, we have the diaspora community of the NPP kicking against this particular directive strongly. They are saying that they will make their position quite strong on Sunday when the matter is put before conference. Okay. And then also remember that... But
what are the reasons? Have they given any reasons so far for why they think that, if you are not you're not a citizen, like, you're a citizen, you have one leg in Ghana and you have another leg elsewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, what I've been told is that the position taken by the Constitutional Review Committee finds expression already in the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. They are only going by what the 1992 Constitution. They are trying to align the party's constitution with that of the national constitution. That is the more reason why they are saying that going forward, if you hold a dual nationality, you will not be given the opportunity to contest any executive position in the NPP, and that is up for consideration of conference on Sunday. There are also two key issues, and it relates to who qualifies to vote for a national youth organizer of the NPP, and who qualifies to vote for a national women's organizer of the NPP. If we take a look at the party's constitution in Article 14.2, it is clear on the electoral college that should decide who leads the youth front of the NPP, and the electoral college for the women's front of the NPP. Now, the Constitutional Review Committee, they've made some amendment. Indeed, they found reason in the positions taken by some people who are of the view that they should expand the electoral college for those who will vote for the national youth leader and the women's organizer of the party. And so on Sunday, the proposal that will be put before members of the conference will have this, that for the position of national women's organizer of the NPP, all female MPs in parliament will vote. Also, all females who are members of the regional executive committee, including the regional women's organizer, all females who are members of the constituency executive committee, including constituency women's organizers, TESCON women commissioners, and women organizers from recognized external branches of the party. Okay. So, in future, when they are voting for a national women's organizer of the party, these are the people who vote. But this one is subject to the approval of the conference of the NPP.
But Elton, just so we get it clear, what really is the difference here? I mean, what was this, or what is the status quo at the moment?
According to what I've been told, the current constitution places a limit as to how many people should vote for the women's organizer position. Indeed, it's always been the ward, constituency, districts and regional women organizers,
because
and
if you
some
look at
other selected women groups in the party.
Right. If you look at the documents here, Elton, that you provided, for example, in Article 14, they say that for purposes of elections, delegates for the election for the national women's organizer shall be all females entitled to vote at the national annual delegate conference. Does it mean that they're cutting down on those who are eligible to vote?
What we're saying is part of this. Now, they have categorized the various branches of women groups in the party. But then what they are saying is that going forward, every card-bearing member of the NPP who is a woman
should be able
to vote beyond these recognized, groups in the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also moving beyond the women's organizers position, there's also the national youth organizer of the party. Remember, it's always been that if you can only vote if you are below age 40. Right. If you are beyond age 40, you are barred from vote. Some people are of the view that we should be able to exercise our franchise and determine who leads the youth front of our party. So the proposal.
Now, if you say our party, you've got to be careful there.
Who leads the NPP? Now, what they are saying that all MPs below age 40. Regional executive committee members below age 40, constituency executive committee members below age 40, a representative of TESCON from all recognized institutions, one youth representative of the party's external branches recognized by the party. Now, the proposed provision is a departure from the various petitions demanding that the party adopts a free-range voting system
where everybody else can vote.
Which allows all delegates to partake in the election of national women's organizer and also the youth organizer of the party. So these are the people who have been constituted as electoral college for the national youth organizer and women's organizer wings of the NPP.
And I'm guessing that this is the basis. I'm not really sure, but we're going to be speaking to their representative. The basis for a group of polling station executive who are up in arms actually against the party executive in the Ashanti region. They say, especially in the Subin constituency, what they're saying is that their names have been removed from the constitution. But will that be something that's effective at the moment?
No, for now it is the proposed, once the proposed amendments are put before the consideration of conference, it means that the current constitution that the NPP is using may not be binding. It's an old one. Right. Once the amendments are approved and adopted by conference as the working document going forward, then it becomes the new constitution of the NPP, and Congress will have that opportunity to determine it.
Elton, I'll have to engage you a bit more. We're trying to reach the acting general secretary for the party, John Boydu, to give us a breakdown of exactly what to expect on Sunday and what the plans are and what really for them will be their highlights. We've given you what we believe to be the highlight of their discussion. We'll be talking to him shortly. We'll also be talking to the spokesperson for the group of polling station executives who are up in arms and who think that they are being disenfranchised. We'll get their reasons, the reasons for their protest, and then we'll see if we can get some responses from the party executive in the Ashanti region as to why they're being disenfranchised. But Elton, what more do you think we should expect? There are other...
I think the key among them already we know that council has already given us back into this proposal that if you are a district chief executive and you want to contest the position of a member of parliament, you have to step down your position. I think 2 years before the
3 years.
2 years before the primary, and it will also be up for the consideration
for discussion.
Conference. Yeah.
But I mean, Elton, you've had the chance to interact a lot more with these people, and when I say these people, I mean with the NPP executives and the people who are within the party. Do you get the chance? Do you get the feeling that this is something that will be will be a very heated part of the conference on Sunday, or is it something that they could easily pass? Because already they said that when John Boydu made this announcement, he indicated that there's a huge sense of support from key persons within the party. Of
course, I expect some kind of resistance, because what I'm picking is that some people of the video, what the party is doing, in a way, may bring about this skirt and blouse voting in the future. That is, you have people who may be so popular and very, in terms of relationship, may be okay with the constituents by virtue of the fact that that person may be a district chief executive whom the people may trust to lead them in parliament. But because you are asking that person that if you have that intention, please step down 3 years before the Congress, the danger of you losing people who can easily win the parliamentary seat for you becomes very high. And that has been a concern of some of these people. Unfortunately, when the...
But how does that work when you're actually, the party seems to be rather protecting its parliamentary candidate, so that if you know that Elton is going to go for a parliamentary candidate here in this particular constituency, you don't get to give him any unnecessary rivalry, especially when you're both within the same party. That's actually their argument.
Well, your argument may be fair, but if you want to stretch it, you can also say that you're looking at people who really are, for want of a better word, the bedrock of the party in their various districts and their various municipalities. And these people, because of the fact that they may be a DCE and may have worked so hard, and the people wants them to represent them in parliament, first of all, they don't want to lose their jobs by declaring their intention. So you may get to election and your parliamentary candidate may not be so popular. Indeed, the last election tells us a lot. If you look at the voting trend that went the way of the NDC, and the fact that they lost so many seats because some of the constituents were of the view that their candidates were not up for the job. So if you encourage this thing to stay, you may, in the long run, lose people who may be the preferred choice of the constituency.
Of the masses.
But because probably they don't want to lose their jobs and they are so uncertain about the future, the tendency of people voting skirt and blouse
is high.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Let's speak to the party's acting General Secretary, John Boydu. Sir, thank you very much for your time here on The Pulse. Now, if you would just give us highlights of the conference on Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to your cherished listeners. This is an extraordinary National Delegates Conference called to as a continuation of the National Annual Delegates Conference held in Cape Coast last month. It is to finish the unfinished business. That is to say that as the party constitution stipulates, anytime we have an annual delegates conference, if members deem it necessary, we put in application and proposal for amendment. These amendments are sent back to them for their perusal. After that, we meet and look at it, review it, adapt it if the need be. Considering the time involved in Cape Coast and some other issues, Congress decided to put that mandate in the hands of the National Council to put together an ad hoc committee to concise applications received. So that job has been done. Based on that, National Chairman has called for a extraordinary National Delegates Conference on Sunday, December 17, 2017, to look at the review report brought by the ad hoc committee for its discussion and adoption. So it is coming on Sunday in Ashanti region, Heroes Park to be specific.
I've just been having a discussion with one of my colleagues who's on our political desk, and we're told to expect these three major issues for discussion: dual nationality, people with dual nationality, and whether or not they can, contest for any position, and then the expansion of the electoral college for when it comes to the national youth organizer and the national women's organizer. Are there any more areas that we should know about, especially your NPP persons?
Lot more areas. That is just the question of just tweaking some few of the clauses. With regards to the youth women wing election, especially at the national level, at the constituency and the regional level, it remains the same. There's this proposal that says that all women delegates at the conference must be part of the electoral college to elect the women's organizer, the national women's organizer, and on the other hand, all youthful delegates at the conference should also be given the opportunity to elect their youth leader. This is a proposal. On the question of dual citizenship, the proposal of that amendment was looking at the 1992 Constitution and trying to say that it should be consistent with the Constitution of our party. And they believe that since the Constitution says that if one holds dual citizenship or has allegiance to another country, they should not be a holder of an office of political party. And this is a proposal, and for some of us, we think that this, when it comes on the floor, will be subjected to a lot of discussion. So I don't think that there's no major problem with that. More so when, for instance, as we speak now, there is a memorandum before Parliament looking at that specific clause and possibly wanting to change that clause in order to allow our own citizens living outside our country to participate fully in not only in our political party, but in national affairs. I think that is something that Congress will look at it.
Okay, Mr. Boyden, please hold on for me briefly. I have on the line also Richard Ahiagba. He's a General Secretary aspirant, and he's with the NPP USA and Canada. Mr. Ahiagba, you're welcome to the show.
Is that or what?
Sorry?
Is that going to be a debate?
Not necessarily. It's not a debate. I'm just picking his thoughts on, because you've mentioned the dual citizenship, and those in the diaspora are those who have concerns about the dual citizenship. So I'm just going to pick his quick thoughts and his expectations as you go for the conference. Mr. Ahiagba, what are your expectations on Sunday over this matter? Mr. Ahiagba, if you can hear me, could you tell us your expectations on this matter on Sunday?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I do.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a small correction. I'm with the NPP USA and not Canada.
Very well.
Yeah, thank you. My regards to my brother, John Boydu, and I think on the subject of amendment, the proposed amendment to limit the participation of people with dual nationality in our party to hold any political office, I think is uncalled for. Whilst it's just a proposal or amendment, the thought of it, the perception that we would be seeking to do anything like that, I think coming from our party, our tradition, I think is something that we need to take seriously. It is not needed. We don't need.
Did you say it is not needed?
At all. We don't need that. If anything at all, as a political party, we should be seeing to creating and expanding the frontiers for people to participate in our democratic process. And in particular, our tradition, we have survived.
But you do agree that you have to align the party's constitution with the country's constitution. That's the argument that's been made.
No, that's not a requirement. We don't have to align our party constitution with the country's constitution. That is a flawed argument. It seeks to make a false equivalency between party constitution and national constitution. The two instruments they are gunning for two different objectives. Ours is not a country. Ours is a political party. The national constitution, as Mr. John Boyden just said, there is effort to amend that particular clause in there that seek to disadvantage people with dual nationality. So there is efforts to amend the national constitution. So that's why it is actually bizarre at this point that we in the NPP will be seen to be trying to do something that inhibits democracy, not promote democracy. Every Ghanaian who is born in this country and have traveled outside, the allegiance, the concept of allegiance to another country, I don't know where that comes from, but when somebody has a dual passport just to allow them to travel, it doesn't spell that the person now is his own allegiance to a country to the extent that would disadvantage Ghana. I can tell you, as somebody who have lived outside and known a lot of people who have lived outside, every Ghanaian who live outside has a very strong attachment to Ghana. You cannot convince any Ghanaian not to come back home. So on that account, every Ghanaian who is holding a dual nationality elsewhere has his primary allegiance to this country. And, you know, there is no precedent or very few precedent.
Let me see if I can get a very quick reaction to that from Mr. John Boydu. It seems I've lost Mr. John Boydu. We'll try and raise him back. But please finish up your point. Okay.
Yeah, this is just what I was going to say. As far as precedent, in terms of the limitation that they're trying to put in our party constitution, all over the world, people have dual citizenships and they serve in their government perfectly. There are instances I can cite for you, even in the United States. Okay, in England, you see instances where people have dual nationality. In the United States, there are people in Senate, okay, who are dual citizens and they do just fine. The only limitation in the United States Constitution that bars anybody from contesting for any federal or state position is the fact that if you are not born on the soil of America, that is the qualification. You have to be born on the soil. Anything outside of that, you cannot contest for the presidency. But you can contest for anything up until the senatorial race. You can be a Supreme Court judge. So what we are trying to do here is not the same. At any rate, these people are Ghanaians, and I can convincingly tell you that no Ghanaian, given the opportunity, would choose anywhere above Ghana. We love this country, and everybody who is a Ghanaian living outside love this country. We love our party, and we just want an opportunity to serve the party and make our own contribution to make our country grow and get stronger.
We'll see how it goes on Sunday. Mr. Richard Anyagba, thank you very much. He's the General Secretary aspirant. He's with NPP USA. I've lost John Boydu. I was just about asking him about the reports about 140 polling station executives who are alleging that their names have been removed from the register and they think that they're being disenfranchised. We'll still try and speak to their spokesperson, Osesibe, to find out whether or not they've been engaged on the concerns they've raised. But Elton, well, how do you react to this? Now, already we're seeing a very divergent views here when it comes to the dual nationality issue. What do you make of what they said? I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't get John Boydu's response to that.
Well, for now, the diaspora community, if they want to, you know, rise up against this proposed amendment, then they need to rally the support of conference, because I mean, clearly the mode of adoption is such that it is by acclamation, it's not by voting. So the louder the voice.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
Because not a lot of them will be around, because usually for the diaspora it's about who can, you know, actually pay for the tickets and get to, and people don't quite do
so
that.
They need to lobby members of conference to stand by them and this proposed amendment. Otherwise, they will lose on the day.
Right, but is this a view that's shared only by those in the diaspora, or we get a chunk of NPP persons in Ghana as well feeling the same way that the diasporans feel?
The party's position is quite clear that we want to align our constitution with the constitution of Ghana. So there's no argument about it as far as the NPP is concerned. But these people, they want inclusion in the process, because according to them,
they're already included. They are a part of the party.
Exactly, but they are saying that they contribute financially and materially to the success of the party. So they should not be denied this opportunity to, you know, hold executive positions in the party. But the argument for is that you cannot stay and live in the United States of America and still play a role as a party executive with the party residing here in Ghana. So that has been the argument, beyond the fact that they want to align with the 1992 Constitution. We'll wait and see how it is. But I fail to see how the diaspora community can get them can move beyond this. They are likely
Alton,
to be
have you also heard about the polling station executives who are protesting? They say that they're being disenfranchised, that their names have been removed from the voter register. Is this an information that's the NPP is aware of that we know?
Yeah, we've picked that. I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary of the party, Nana Obribuahin, about an hour ago. He says that they are in the process of addressing this particular. Remember when we went to Cape Coast, a similar issue came up that some people could not find their name in the vote in the register.
Right.
They hope to address it before Sunday. That is the information we picked from them.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I lost John Boydo there, and it hurts so bad, you know, when you want to get some of these answers. And I'm sure that you want the answers to those questions as well. But we will get there. We will get there. Obviously, Sunday will be very hard on that. We'll be getting you a lot of updates from Kumasi as well, so you know what's happening. Elton, thank you so much for your contribution. Elton Brobe is on our political desk here at JoyNews, bringing us up to speed and helping us with a bit of analysis there as well as to what to expect on Sunday on the NPP special conference there. Still watching the polls. Let's do sports.